Dear God, we love you. Dear God, we lift you up and we magnify your holy name. Because Lord, you alone is worthy. Lord, use this vessel. Lord, speak to me, Father God. I surrender to your will. I surrender to your mercy. I just pray, Lord, that you have your way. Lord, thank you. Lord, I promise to give you praise as you use me on this morning. In Jesus' name, we do pray. Amen. Now, I want you to turn your Bibles to Exodus chapter number 4. Exodus chapter number 4. And we're going to look at verses 1 through 5. It's a familiar passage if you are an individual who is a student of the Bible. Maybe not so familiar if you're not, but I pray that you are blessed by what is going to be shared this morning. Exodus chapter 4, verses 1 through 5. Word of God reads, it says, Then Moses answered, said, Suppose they will not believe me or listen to my voice. Suppose they say, the Lord has not appeared to you. So the Lord said to him, What is that in your hand? He said, A rod. He said, Cast it on the ground. So he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent. And Moses fled from it. Then the Lord said to Moses, Reach out your hand and take it by the tail. And he reached out his hand and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand. That they may believe that the Lord God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has appeared to you. Amen. Amen. You may be seated. I asked Sister Lois, amen, she might need it, but I'm going to need it right now. Amen. I asked for it, and I want to share something with you.
And I want it back.
You're going to get it back. You're going to get it back. Amen. I prayed this morning. I said, Lord, I need a rod. I don't know what to use. Lord, I believe you gave me this message. But Lord, unless you provide that rod, I don't know if I'm sure I'm supposed to be preaching it. Then Sister Lord walk up in here with this stick.
All right.
I kid you not, I'm not lying. She walked in here with this stick, I'm like, okay, all right. Now, it may not be the size of what Moses had. It may not be the length of what Moses had. But Moses had a rod. He had a rod in his hand. And what you got to understand is about Moses, Moses was a shepherd. Okay? And Moses tended the sheep. So he used rods and staff. You got to understand, there's a kind of a difference between a rod and a staff. And staff has a little hook at the top. Okay, but a rod was like a straight stick with a knob on the end of it. Okay? And the shepherd would use the rod and the staff to keep the sheep in line, also to keep off and ward off, animals that would try to come and eat the sheep as well. So the shepherd used that rod for many things. But when I looked at the text, what kind of came out to me was where it said, "What's in your hand? What's in your hand?" And for subject on today is going to come in the form of a question. What's in your hand? What's in your hand? What's in your hand, many times what people do is, when they have something in their possession, many times, like maybe, if you think about a child will get something, and over time, they kind of lose that whole desire for using it and playing with it and having it, and they'll kind of put it in the corner, right? As if it's really not worth anything. At one moment in time, what's in their hand is important. At another point in time, what's in their hand is not so important. But I believe in my whole heart, God wants us to really ask ourselves the question: what's in my hand? And does everybody know that God has put something in each one of our hands? Okay. When I say hands, in your possession. Okay. He's put something in your possession, whatever that is. And you got to understand, whatever that is, God didn't just give it to you for you to hold on to it and just to say you have it. Oh, look what I have. Do you realize God put stuff in your hand so that really truthfully, folk will be able to know who He is. And so that you can do things to point to God so that people would know who put it in your hands. But many times what we'll do sometimes, we'll hold stuff in our hands, but we'll never allow what's in our hands to be all that it could be because we're looking at it all wrong. Now, I'm going to show you in the text what God revealed to me in the text. It says that the Lord said unto him, what is that in thine hand? And he said, a rod. And he said, cast it on the ground. Check it out. And he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent. Okay, preaching. What that got to do with anything? Amen. Bob, I threw this thing on the ground, and they turned into a snake. Let me tell you, I clear the house. Amen. Clear the house. He working at witchcraft. He just get nobody here. Ain't no one back. Amen. Right? But Moses took the rod, cast it on the ground, and it turned into a snake. Well, preacher, help me out with that. Well, see, many times, let me tell you what we'll do. Okay? See, my daughters were picking roses the other day, and my daughter Caitlin, she's so precious, she's so pure. And, my other daughter picked the flower and, said that, yes, the flower's going to grow. And this is after, she picked. I'm going to put it in the water and it's going to grow. When she pick a rose, right, what happens? It wilts. It dies. And I say, no, it's not going to grow. It's going to die dead. That's Caitlin, though. She's just as pure as they get. And when we look at this rod, you realize that we can consider it dead. It's dead. Okay? What do you want me to see from this, Pastor? God wants you to use what you have in your hand, cast it out at His command, and allow Him to make it alive.
Yes.
You realize sometimes we treat what's in our hand as something that is insignificant. It's nothing. It's just something. It's just there. But God wants to show you that there's life in your hands. And He'll bring to life what you feel is dead. The very thing that you feel that is dead, He will take it and He will make it alive. But you got to cast it out at His command, and I promise you, He'll show you He can bring it. He can bring it to life. So anything I can share with you, I want you to understand that God wants to take what you have and what you feel as though is maybe not working, it's not operating, it's not doing what you feel it should do, or maybe you just might feel it's insignificant. And He wants you to take that and use that and let Him bless it so that He can show you the little bit you think you got. He'll take that thing and He'll make it something you never thought it could become. Just cast it out. Sometimes we're too scared to cast it out because we feel sometimes a little afraid. Many times it's fear that causes us to stop from going past where we are because we don't think certain things will fly, because sometimes when God tells us to do something, it don't even make good sense. How many of us can say, God has told you to do something? And you've been playing around. You've been procrastinating. You got it in your hand. But it's going to take some work with your faith for some things to happen. And until you do that, God can't show you what He wants to do in your life. Okay? Well, preacher, what else can you show me from the text that will help me, will bless my life? Well, see, in that same verse, it says that it became a serpent, but check it out. Moses did what? He fled from it. All right, Sister Lux, I'm going to throw you a stick, but don't get mad at me, all right? All right. Okay. He cast it down. It turned into a serpent, and he took out running. Okay. All right. Could you imagine that, though? I'd be scared, too. Okay. God takes the stick I have in my hand, and he turns it to a serpent. Let me tell you, I'm getting up out of it. I really don't like snakes. I hate them with a passion. Really do. I don't poisonous. Well, that's not poisonous. I don't care. I don't care. I'm out. Jump to the deuces. You won't see my back. That's it. I'm serious. But Moses, he ran from it. Okay? This next thing I want you to really get your mind around. And it's something, I'm telling you, it's something that will happen if you're obedient to God. I promise you. I promise you. Because let me tell you, anytime God does something, you got to understand there's some things that's going to be present every single time. When you take what God has put in your hand, you cast it out, he makes it alive, and he shows you his power, it will literally scare you. It will scare you. Because what ends up happening is when God takes your little bit and he turns it into a whole lot, can I help you? You'll be like, no, this just didn't happen. I can't believe this. I remember the first women's conference we had. And Sister Deborah and I, and my wife and I, we were discussing dialogue, get things together. And when the day came and we pulled up to come to the conference, and you think you're coming to get ready for the conference, you got folk at the conference before the conference even started. Right? Before the conference even started. And you're like, okay, wait a minute, when they gonna give us time to get ready? Amen. But they were so ready for what it is that God had prepared. And really and truthfully, and guess what? We just had to work with what we had to work with. And I'll never forget, she gonna get me for this, but it don't matter. My wife, she came stood by me. And I thought she was gonna pass out. I literally thought she was gonna pass out because when she walked in, she saw all the women of God in this church. It literally frightened her. You know why? Because anytime you do something for God, and you do it obediently, and you do it all to his glory, what he does will frighten you. Like, I said, we're going to do what he's going to do. It don't matter. We're going to do what he's going to do. Guess what? The Lord going to take care of what you need to take care of. He's going to take care of it. But when you do what God has called you to do, I promise you, when God touches it, it's going to blow your mind. But you've got to be at a point to where you understand that guess what? God is who he is. And he can do what he says he can do. And when the Bible says he can do exceedingly and abundantly above all that you can even ask or think, get ready for your mind to be blown. Get ready. Some of you, God has put something in your spirit. He's put something in your hand physically. He's put something in your heart. And you've been sitting on it. You've been sitting on it. Whatever that is, you know. Whatever that is. But I ask you the question again. What's in your hand? What's in your hand? What's in your hand? See, when God shows us the power of what he has put in our hand, it may literally frighten us. Okay? But I want you to watch what happened next. It says, then the Lord said to Moses, y'all got to get this. The Lord said to Moses, reach out your hand. Check it out now. And take it by the tail. Where you going with that, preacher? Even though it may frighten you, the Lord still wants you to hold on to it. But you got to understand, you got to trust Him to help you to maintain it. See, that's what cancels out the fear, knowing who's in charge. And you can hold on to it, not because you all that strong, because you all that smart, because you have all the ability. No. But because of who has you in His hand. Amen. And you can continue to do what God has called you to do, even though it's scary. Do you realize many times people are not just scared or have the fear of failure. Some people have the fear of success. Yes. How can I maintain this? How can I keep this going? I don't have enough ability to do it. You're right. Ding, 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 ding. You all right. You don't. But trust in the one who does. You have to. Can I help you? See this preaching ministry? Y'all, I stay on my knees. Because let me tell you, this is bigger than me. Way bigger than me. So I got to stay on my knees. Any ministry you in, let me tell you, in order for you to maintain, you better stay on your knees.
Yes, Lord.
Because that's the only way you're going to make it and continue to do what thus says the Lord. Because can I help you in your flesh? You're flush, like the old folks say. You're going to quit. Give up, throw in the towel, and say, I ain't doing this no more.
Amen.
I promise you. So you got to stay on your knees and understand that God wants you to take hold of what He's put in your hand after He's blessed it and touched it and made it alive. Okay, here we go. One last thing I want you to see in the text is this. It says, grab it or take it by the hand, and he reached out his hand and he caught it, and it became a rod in his hand. Look why God did what He did to the rod. That they may believe that the Lord God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, has appeared to you.
All right.
Now notice, Moses was going to set free the children of Israel from Egyptian bondage. And Moses was like, Lord, these folk gonna look at me and say, you come to do what? Deliver us? Dude, is you crazy? You want that good stuff. Right? You want that good stuff, Moses? No. God put it in His hand so that when He gets there, the folk would actually what? Believe that what? God sent it.
Yes.
Not just that. Go back up to verse 1. Then Moses answered and said, but suppose they will not believe me or listen to my voice. God also does what He does so people will actually hear what you have to say.
Amen.
God doesn't put you where He puts you just for you to take up space. No. He puts you where He puts you so that you can be influential in the environment He's put you in, so that you can speak up for Him and point souls to God. And when you do what you do, can I help you? It would be a great danger to take credit for anything.
Amen. Amen.
What God wants you to do is, when He blesses you, when He touches your ministry, when He blesses your house, you let folk know, not by my power and my might,
Amen.
only but by the grace of God.
Amen.
God does what he does so that others can see what he's doing in our lives, and so that he can get the glory, and so that they might just hear what you have to say. How many of you can say people have come to you with things and talk to God, talk with you, because they see the God in you and they see God working in your life? God blesses you, not for you to glow and, stick your chest out and act like you're all that. He does it so that when he does, you can tell folk and run and tell folk, my God in heaven has blessed you. And he's poured out the windows of heaven. So what? I would have room enough to receive it. It's not by me, because can I help you? God will show you that, guess what? Just like he gave it, he can take it away.
Oh, yes. Amen.
So we can't get all caught up in that. So you got to understand this one thing. God places things in our hands to show others his power, in order that they may believe what we have to say, and also to believe that he sent us. To believe that he sent us. Because God will allow things to happen in your life so that people will be able to identify you with him. I promise you that. God will allow it. If you truly know the Lord, God will allow opportunities for people to see you. And you don't even know they're looking at you sometimes.
Amen.
And folk will come back and say, look, I admire you. And let me tell you, for me, that's scary. I don't know about y'all.
Yes.
As messed up as I am,
Oh, yes.
folk come back. Oh, I admire you. Back up, hold up. You must not know.
All right.
You must not know. But can I help you? He don't elevate you for you.
That's right. That's right.
It ain't for you. I shared in a Bible study, I think it was about 2-3 weeks ago, when we went through the book of Daniel, what an awesome study it was. God promotes us to promote him. Duh.
Amen.
He promotes us to promote him. Well, 3 things I shared. Many times we treat what's in our hand like it's dead, but the Lord can bring it to life. Second thing, God shows us the power of what he's put in our hand, and when he does, it can literally frighten us. But he wants us to hold fast to it. Third thing, God places things in our hands to show others his power, in order that they may believe what we have to say, and also believe that he's the one that sent us. What's in your hands? Is it a song? Possibly a book. Maybe he put his word in your mouth. He wants you to go out and proclaim the gospel. Could be a particular ministry. Could be a position where you have a level of influence where you can actually touch lives for the kingdom. It could be a painting or drawing. How can God use that to glorify him? He can do it. It may be a meal. If Big Mama didn't have nothing else, she had some food to cook and some food to feed you. And she'll bless you and minister to you even while you eat. See, you got to understand, you can't take what's in your hand for granted. Because he put it in your hand for a reason. Now, I don't want anybody to leave here feeling that they're insignificant, that they have nothing to offer, that God can't use you. Let me tell you, if God can use a donkey,
Amen.
he can use me and you too.
Amen.
And all he did with that donkey is made him talk. You got to understand that what we have in our hand is not insignificant. It becomes great when we're obedient to God. And he says to cast it out. And we trust him when we do. He'll bless your efforts. Not because of you, but because he wants to bring glory to your name. To his name, not yours. Amen?
Amen.
Amen. God bless you. Real good is my prayer. Amen.